Hey guys, it's your boy Dragon Trigger 504. I'm back for the three-part video for all the volumes, and this is volume two. This is volume two that I will be talking about. I'm sorry that I didn't fully explain everything, but I'm just trying to get it out there as best as I can. But here we go. Here we go with volume two. All right, so volume two, in my opinion, once again, what took really stepped up their game. Like Monty, like really stepped up his game in the second volume, like with a lot more fight scenes, uh, a lot of just uh, and a lot more like personality, in my opinion, especially on the emotional level that they had in volume one and volume two, because in volume one there was some emotional tidbits here and there, but that didn't. But character development and everything. Uh, Weiss Shani, uh, you know, like I mentioned before, she's this spoiled little rich kid who basically everything got whatever she wanted, but she had to learn how to be a follower instead of a leader. Uh, and Ruby, the fun fun loving leader that we all love and adore because she's adorable and all that. Yang, Blake, basically everybody. And now things get a little serious, just a little bit, not a whole lot, but a little bit, because last volume, we got left with a cliffhanger with Roman Torchwick, which I didn't mention. I didn't mention in my last video. I'm mentioning it now. Uh, After he and the White Fang got beat up by Penny. um, he was back. He left back to his warehouse where he was staying at, and then all of a sudden um got dropped on by three new characters who we've never seen before. One we did recognize a little bit because she was only teased in the first episode, and this hot young thing is named Cinderfall. God, she is freaking hot. Like, for real. I will basically say this. She is the hottest character in the freaking series right now. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't know how everyone else feels, but I honestly feel that she is most definitely the hottest chick in the entire series. I mean, just look at her. She presents herself like just so evil, but she makes it work. She's like a full on boss, like, for real. And then we meet these other two characters who we didn't know who they were at the time. One dude, and another chick, a black chick. Thank you. One I'll name the dude first. The guy's name is Mercury. Still, I like his silver hair, and basically he's just like uh, from the op- opening. He seems like the Taekwondo master, And I like taekwondo. I like taekwondo. I'm into martial arts like that, and he just looks like one of those funny, serious guys that you just want to just fight against. And the other chick whose name's Emerald, which is ironic because her hair is freaking green, and she's kind of hot. She's kind of hot too. I ain't gonna front about that. I know. I am a man. Leave me the fuck alone. I know. These characters aren't real. Leave me the fuck alone. I have a crush on who I have a fucking crush on. But anyway, now when we first see them, they're after one of the members of the White Fang who was basically trying to leave the White Fang. And they end up whooping his fucking ass. He's probably dead, more than likely, in the first episode of the volume. And yeah, it's pretty downhill from there. But it gets, but we go back to seeing Ruby and the gang. Basically, just talking, and you see a picture in or a drawing more than likely of Adam, who we've seen in Blake's trailer, the Black trailer, and he's just a full on boss. Uh, we do not see him like mostly throughout the entire episode, and well, until later on. We but she talked about it and whatnot, and with Blake, she's a little worried about what the White Fang are up to, since the whole Torchwick and White Fang team up that she had in like a few uh, days or months ago, since they last fought him at the docks. And it gets pretty funny from the gets pretty funny and epic after that, because it's their second semester. They start off with their second semester. Everyone basically in all chill mode until somebody had to throw a freaking pie at freaking Weiss's face. And that's when we get the most epic, epic food fight of all time. And that, I like that. I like that food fight. That fight went so hard. Uh, but that's basically it and whatnot for that episode. And we find out that well, almost we find out that Cinder obviously is up to something. We just don't know what. And she tells Torchwick to gather all the dust and equipment and stuff, and something about speeding up things to phase 2. Which, ironically, in the next episode, we find out that she is infiltrated Beacon along with Mercury and Emerald, and that made it a little more interesting, because not only that, Team Ruby is about is like concern for Blake's, and because she's been acting more antisocial and moody than usual, and Yang makes this funny funny remark like, "Have you met Blake?" And I just love Yang in this volume, because she throws out so many puns, it's ridiculous. And that's basically it. And oh, I gotta also mention that they had a little Yu-Gi-Oh Yu-Gi-Oh section in this. It's time to do. But back to the matter. uh, but anyway, uh, shoot. So basically, all the students from the various countries, like big from Vale, uh, Vacuo, and shoot, I forgot the fourth one. Uh, oh, third and fourth one. Third and fourth one. Anyway, we get to see one of Sun's team members. His name's Neptune, and he's this like cool blue haired guy, and just like tries to be smooth and cool for everything, and he's got a pretty cool weapon too, because his is like plasma electric weapon, also that also turns into an electric spear. That was pretty cool, and you don't really see that until like episode 4, when I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll get back to that later, but before that, I should say. Before that, we meet up with Penny again, who we haven't seen since the last episode, because she somewhat disappeared after that. And before we see Penny, mind you, in the second episode, I'm gonna go. I'm flipping back and forth. I'm sorry about that. We meet Ironwood. Basically, he's a general of one of the four countries of Remnant, and yeah, I hate that guy. I genuinely hate that guy. That guy just comes up as such a fucking dick. Like, for real. I can just sit. I just looked at him and I was like, okay, this guy is arrogant as fuck. I already know I don't like him. But other than that, we don't really know much about him. Other than that, he's a general of, like, another country, and he's also friends with Ozpin and Glinda Goodwitch, which is interesting. With Ozpin being the headmaster, you would think that he'd know, like, a whole lot of people in the world, and I guess Ironwood just so happened to be, like, at least, I think, one of his followers or one of his apprentices that Ozpin has probably trained, or partnered up with over the past few years. And that's basically it about him. And not only has he come to Vale to protect uh, Beacon Academy and practically Vale, but he basically brings his whole army into Vale, and Ozpin's not happy with that. It's because Vale is at a time of peace. The world of Remnant is at a time of peace, give or take, a few grim. And that makes things a little hard for the people of Vale, because it makes people a little uncomfortable, because you have an army showing up at your doorstep and basically showing off, like, these robots, and like the Elysium Knights, the Elysium Paladins, which are really cool design, mind you. Monty Ohm did his work. Monty Ohm did his work with those things. Uh, and then not only that, we finally get to know the secret of Penny, who I called it. She is a freaking robot. I called that shit. I called it because there was no fucking way she could pull that thing, that big old plane down from the last volume, like she did, and then did this whole freaking generative Kamehameha wave on it like that. I was like, damn. But uh yeah, let's go on ahead. Yeah, Ruby finds out that she's a robot, and typically she doesn't care. She sees Penny as a person, not a thing, not a robot. She sees her as a person because a robot wouldn't feel worried about certain things like uh, being real and not real. And they gave me like a good little Pinocchio type deal with her, because Penny to me is just like is almost like Poking, except Pinocchio's a robot, and oh, I messed that up. Penny's a robot and Pinocchio is a puppet. Sorry about that. And whenever she lied, she had the hiccups, which was pretty funny. And not only that, now, I'm gonna skip ahead and talk about the fact that Blake and Son infiltrated a White Fang hideout where they were recruiting people, and then not only that, we found out that Torchwick has actually apprehended one of the Elysium paladins and stolen it, and it shows off some of his power in an episode. And then what the coolest thing about episode 4 was the fact that we actually got to see Team Rui have formations, like for Weiss and Yang. When they started off the fight, they started off with Freezer Burn. That's their team formation. And with Ruby and Blake, it's Bump is no, not Bumblebee. I'm sorry about that. Uh, Ruby and Blake, it's Ladybug, and with Blake and Yang, it's Bumblebee, and with Rose is White Rose, but she says Ice Flower. So that's the formations were pretty cool, and they were really giving it to Torchwick in that fight. And then Yang went full blown Super Saiyan after she got knocked into that pillar and survived that, and she just blocked it with her. It was like, yes, She just one punched that shit. uh, but yeah, I'm gonna skip ahead, like to volumes of, well, not volume, episode, a few episodes, and let's talk about John and John's team. Uh, so basically, we all know that John has a somewhat of a crush on Weiss, which was, typical nerd loving a beautiful girl. I will say she's beautiful. I will say she's beautiful. Still a bitch. But as for shoot, um, Pura and her her relationship with Jean is like, they're friends, typically, and she felt a little discouraged knowing that John has a crush on Weiss, but at the same time, you could feel that she was uncomfortable with that because she actually likes John. And everyone knows she likes John because though she wouldn't look at John in the last volume the way she did in a few of those episodes. And if you everyone knows when she gave him that look, yo, she wanted it. She wanted him so bad. And around that time, John wanted to ask Weiss, but Weiss ended up asking Neptune to the dance that they were doing. That Weiss and Yang were about to were hosting because they were but the original hosters of the party for all the high school kids and whatnot was supposed to be Team Coffee, but they were on an away mission, so Weiss and Yang decided to pick up the slack. Blake basically just didn't want to go because she was way too focused on the activities of the White Fang, and that kind of pushed her away from her friends a little bit more, and it was tough on her. Uh, but before I go any further, I want to talk about how boss freaking Pyrrha is because in the same episode, mind you, she was wrecking the hell out of one of the other characters that I didn't mention in the last video, uh, Carton, who was basically the school bully, and he was bullying Jean, and this was like a little training fight between just Pura and Carden's team, and it's called Team Cardinal. Yeah. Who knows what those other dudes' names are? But anyway, uh, she just took all these dudes on and just wrecked every last one of them. Uh, then she also got challenged by Mercury, surprisingly. So we got to see what he had to do. So we got to see what he could do, and the dude was frigging awesome. Like in that first fight, we get to see him. We get to see him fight. I got so excited when I saw that episode because we actually got to see him fight. We actually got to see what he's capable of. But like after, like right when the fight was getting serious, like right when the fight ended, I was like, wait, why did he stop fighting Pyrrha? And then I thought about it, and I was like, oh shit, he just straight up test drive Pyrrha. So he basically like knows how to beat her after that. If there was a real fight between Pyrrha and Mercury, I honestly think Mercury could take her because the way he was fighting, that dude was he was just gonna go in. He was just gonna go in on our ass. Uh, Now let's get back to back to the party. Once again, Blake didn't want to go until Yang convinced her, and it got really deep down into the story for Yang, especially for and the character development for Yang and Blake, because those two like grew closer because Yang told us about Summer Rose, which is Ruby's mom, and a little bit about Raven and Tai Yang relationship. Uh, as to the question, why did Raven leave? Why did leave Yang behind, or leave Tai Yang for that matter, uh, for some unknown reason that we still don't know up to the day. And she's been looking for her, and she's been telling the story that the fact that she almost died looking for her mother after she found like a good clue about her, but then ended up getting saved for from their uncle Crow. uh and she was basically telling Blake that it's okay to search for search for the truth for something, but it's not okay for you to let that search control you, because Blake was tired, she was angry, she was upset, and she has every reason to be, considering that she's once a member of the White Fang, and that really pushed Yang over the limit, because Blake was being stubborn. So she had to really, like, let her have it verbally. And then Yang decided to come to the Blake decided to come to the party. And everything was going well. Until and then, like, Pura was wearing this beautiful red dress. Oh my god, she looks so great. Uh, Yang looked beautiful as well, but uh, colors missing. Colors missing. Rooster Teeth. Why is she just in a white dress? But let that slide. Obviously, Ruby, she looked pretty good. Shoot, Blake, she looked great in typical black dress, but and then John talked to Pura about um, John talked about what talked to Pura, see, try to find out where her date was, because he made a bet that to Pura that if she didn't have a date, he would wear a dress. Oh god. Oh my god. And yeah, and he ended up wearing a dress that night, because he found out how Pura really felt about her, because she wanted him to be his date, because John because Pura is a world-renowned fighter, and she's praised so much that, to the point that she thinks that, well, not her per se, but everyone around her thinks that she's too good for them, which I can understand, because fame and fortune can be a pain in the butt. I wouldn't know, because I'm broke as hell. But mm, but yeah. So John finally realized how Pura felt about her. I mean him, and he finally woke up. And then he had a little confrontation with Neptune, because Neptune decided not to be Weiss's date, because remember I said she asked him. she asked him out, and he said no. And the only reason why is because he said he couldn't dance. It's like, how you the coolest dude in the school and you can't dance? But you know, it is what it is. But later on in that episode, we find out that Cinder is up to no good, obviously, and you know she goes into the one Shani towers, communication towers, to implant this Black Queen virus. Um, that we don't know what it does or what it'll do. Uh, but we know it's something bad, and she was basically just wrecking every everyone uh, Ironwood's army, the humanoid army, in fact, uh, and then you know she was just beasting on him like, and she was wearing this really sexy black outfit, and I liked it. Obviously, I liked it, and you know Ruby tries to stop her, and obviously doesn't know who she is because she was wearing a mask at the time. So, and then we get to see more of what Cinder could do, like the fact that gla- she controls glass, which which is really interesting because she can forge like a glass type weapons like a bow and arrow and swords. But that's basically all that they showed us. And it was a pretty short fight scene. Ironwood ended up interrupting it, but you know, it is what it is. So you know, Ospin and them finally know that they're here. They're in secret, but they still don't know who they are. So now Team Ruby is taking a mi- so now I'm gonna skip ahead and taking a mission to go out of Southeast Vale to find the hiding place for the White Fang, and they were shadowing huntsmen at the time. Everyone was shadowing a huntsman for uh for all the first years. That's what everyone was doing, and the one character they ended up with was freaking the one character they ended up with was Dr. Ooplik. Doctor, professor, he prefers doctor. Professor, Doctor, Professor Ooplik. um, and you know, and I was like, really? This guy? I thought we were gonna get Crow or something. But you know, once again, Crow didn't show up. Because he's been mentioned like many times and we never got to see him. Uh Now as for um shoot. Uh Now they go into the southeast of Vale, into a ruined city that was once outside of the kingdom. That was wrecked by a whole bunch of Grimm, like back in the day, and you know Uplik actually questions a few of the girls, except for Ruby, because we basically know why she wants to be a huntress, and but we get in a little deeper with you know, Weiss, Blake, and Yang, and they each talk about what they do and what they would do and how to handle certain situations and how some things impacted their life. And like with Weiss, with her father being like a very questionable dust company, and that it is, and with Blake being you know uh, being with being away from the White Fang, realizing that it's not that Adam or that Adam wasn't looking for a perfect world for everyone, so that's why she left. And you know, Yang once again, she's the go with the flow type of girl, and it they really get really down and dirty with their explanations with the girls, and like it really shows how far they've come, because they're outside of Vale. They're armed to the teeth, and it's basically being a huntsman and huntress. It's basically a job that they have to keep the peace in order to stop the Grim from uh, basically taking over and killing everyone. Um, but it is what it is. Now, now in the next episode, uh, Ruby get well. It's the same. Well, it's the same episode, honestly. Ruby's captured by the White Fang, and she basically is she basically runs into Torchwick too, so that makes everything a little bad. And later on, Team Ruby shows up, starts kicking everyone's butt. Torchwick tries to escape in the in this little underground train that we found out that was once held by an underground city, but unfortunately it got uh, run over by Grim, and basically everyone died underground, and that was basically the perfect hiding place for the White Fang to huddle up. And you know, everyone gets on the train. Everyone tries to stop it. And I forgot to mention Yang and Yang and Ruby have this dog called Zwei. And this really cute little puppy. I don't know what type of breed he is. I'm not a dog person. But he's cute. He's a cute little guy. Honestly, uh, you know, everyone, once again, everyone's fighting on the train. We see what Uplik can do, and dude is a freaking boss. Like, for real, he is awesome. And the fact that he had this little team up was why when he hit him, and it's why freaking wrecked the stolen paladins. Yo, that was like one of the coolest scenes ever. And then we get a little fight scene between Yang. Then the team separates, uh, with Yang fighting Torchwick's new henchman named Neo. And she was pretty cool. she wrecked my girl. She wrecked my girl. That was messed up. I didn't like that at all. But I'm sure some of us did. But she whooped Yang's ass. She whooped Yang's ass. I'm so salty about that. I'm still salty about that episode, but it was still a cool episode. Uh, and uh, oh yeah, Weiss. She had a good fight scene with one of the White Fang lieutenants who had a freaking sword and chainsaw in one into one, and that was a pretty cool fight. And then we get the second fight between Yang and Torchwick, and I mean not Yang, Blake and Torchwick. I love Yang too much. That's why I'm saying Yang. Yeah, Yang, Blake. Nah, see, I love Yang too much. But yeah, she goes like basically elemental on his ass. Oh, that's because Weiss gave her a dust cartridge that gave her like different type of abilities to use her semblance, blank semblance, because she can make a copy of herself while the copy takes the hit. She can do more with her stuff. And it was just awesome to see. It was a great episode. Unfortunately, at the end of this episode, the girls and Uplik failed to stop the train. And then, like, right after, like, Neo whooped uh, Yang's ass, we get a little and she was just about to finish her off. We get a little tit. We get she gets interrupted by this chick in a mask and with a freaking sword, and Neo just wasn't having any of it. And she was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. And she basically just saved Yang, but we don't know who she is until after like the next episode, uh, which I will be talking about. Uh, so now, so now the ci- so now the city of Vale is being overrun by Grimm, and everyone is like getting it getting it in. Everyone comes in to help out. Uh, except for Son of Neptune, who just want to bro fist everything, and like junior detectives and all this other bullshit. I mean, it was funny. It was funny though. It was good comic relief. And then we got to see Team Coffee in action, which everyone was looking forward to since Velvet is on this team. Uh, we get to see like Fox, who is like up close and personal type of dude, black guy, orange all the time, and he's got these razor gauntlets on his wrists, which I thought was like a really cool touch. And another character named Yatsutoshi, I think that's his name. He was wearing like this big old broadsword, and he's like the heavy hitter of the team. And then we see Velvet, fighting and everything, but we don't get to see her weapon. Once again, they teased the hell out of her with Velvet. But we got to see what Coco can do, and she's like this sassy badass chick that I just fell in love with her like right after that, and like she was just like hitting. She was just hitting this one Beowulf Grim, like with a purse bag or whatever, and then it turned into a freaking machine gun, and was just wrecking everything. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? She straight up wrecked everything, and uh once again, and we cut back to Cinder, Emerald, and Mercury, and they find out that Cinder and their plan for the invasion of the Grimm thing was um, shoot pushed up by Torchwick. So they had to go down there and intervene and everything. And then we actually get to see what Emerald was capable of, because hers is between two sickle size and pistols, and that was pretty sickle size, a chain sickle, and it was a good mix up. It was good to see what Emerald could do, and that's basically it. So and that's basically it for Volume 2. Although I will mention this one thing, that after the whole invasion thing is over with, uh, we get a little short scene again at the end, and we get to see Yang actually walking towards the woman that saved her in in this red and black samurai outfit that she had on, and it turns out to be Raven, her mother, which we don't know who she is until like at the ending credits. And I thought that, and they look exactly alike, except she's she has black, except Raven has black hair, and she looks pretty hot, and she was pretty hot. So you're like, okay, I see where you get your hot looks from. But okay, that's the end of this video. I will probably this is a little longer. This is a really longer video than I did in my last one, but I'll probably do like part 3 tomorrow, because right now I just want to get some things done tonight, and I'm actually missing something right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully this video doesn't go down. My name is I'm Devil Trigger 504, and I'll see you guys next time.